Jhanmastami, Adhivas, Motsavaki, Samaveda Bhakti, I go. How does Krishna? So, Bhakti.
राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया की जय।
Hare Krishna. We would like to humbly welcome His Holiness Anugrah Jananand Maharaj for this Adhivas festival. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Welcome Maharaj. Welcome to Malaysia. And thank you so much for coming Maharaj. So first we will continue with this Adhivas ceremony for the next 15 minutes Maharaj. And then we will start having your class Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hari Om Om Sahana Vadu Sahana Punaktu Sahavirandra Vavai Tejasnanta Adhitam Asuma Vishwasvamai Om Shanti 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 Om Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Asti Vachanaha Om Panadumam Divyanam Panadumanasa Divyaha Panadumam Visabhudane Jadaveda Punyamaha Om Ajya Karmanaha Punyaham Bhavantu Bhavantu Om Punyaham Om Punyaham Om Punyaham Om Ugadhe Sadhune Samayayati Brahmaputra Eva Samane Somham Sasi Varseva Vati Sumati Rapidiya Sarvato Nasakune Bhatram Avadaha Visvato Nasakune Punyamavadaha Om Akshya Karmanaha Swasti Bhavantu Ayusmade Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Nagirandro Vidasvaraha Swasti no Pusha Vasavedaha Swasti no Daksho Risaname Swasti no Brahaspati Dadatu Om Akshya Karma Manto Om Rityatam Om Rityatam Om Rityatam Om Rityana Soman Satyavamajam Ano Mantram Sarote Goyatam Yasona Pakam Madhurokam Ulamso Astino Kama Aprara Om Swastino Govinda Swastino Adhivanando Swastino Adhideva Vishnu Swastino Narayana Swastino Padmanabha Hare
Hare Hare Hari Bo 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 Dishti Tori Kara Samapa Dishti Tori
Ya, Adhivas, ya, ah,
Hare Rama
Om Agyana Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now we all have participated in the Adhivas ceremony. Adhivas ceremony is especially performed on the eve of Jhanmastami. So that means that the day before the actual TD of the festival, we prepare ourselves for this Adhivas ceremony. There is 26 auspicious items that were shown to the deities, and these were also offered to the Mother Earth, the deities, as well as Tulasi Maharani. This is for us to get into the mood of the festival tomorrow. So to go on with our program, we would like to humbly welcome His Holiness Bhakti Anugraha Janardhan Swami Maharaj for our function, for a festival today. Welcome Maharaj, welcome on behalf of ISKCON Sabrang Jaya, Temple of Devotion and Understanding. We would like to humbly welcome you for our program today. So first Maharaj, we would like to offer a Maha Garland of the deities for you. Next, we offer the Purna Kumbha Maharaj, and this is a ghee lamp offering for you, Maharaj. Please accept it, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Next, we will have the darshan of the deities with the Sannyas Shukta for you. This is Sri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Maharaj. Radha Krishna Kanhaiya was installed. In fact, Maharaj, today is the day we installed Radha Krishna Kanhaiya on Balram Jayanti, on Balram Purnima, and today is the exact day. 29th August was the installation day 6 years ago. So we are very happy to have you today, Maharaj, with us. And beside Radha Krishna Kanhaiya is Sri Nitai Gaurangarai, who was installed in 2008. Dear devotees, thank you very much for witnessing the Adhivas ceremony for Sri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya on the eve of his Jhanmastami. And I am very proud and very humble to announce that today we'll be having a stalwart devotee, Maharaj, to come and give us his address on Krishna Katha. A small brief introduction of Maharaj. His Holiness Bhakti Anugraha Janardhan Swami was born in Philippines. He joined Krishna consciousness movement in 1984 in Toronto, Canada, after finishing his studies. He received his first initiation on January 1985 and served as the Toronto Temple for 13 years as a book distributor, temple secretary, and in his final 2 years as the temple president. He moved to Delhi, India on the fall of 1997 prior to the inauguration of the new temple. He was the temple vice president and Brahmachari ashram in charge for 5 years in Delhi temple until he moved to Vrindavan on 2002 after Gaura Purnima. He served in Vrindavan as the temple vice president, Brahmachari Ashram in charge, and the festival coordinator since then. He was awarded sannyas on the last Ekadashi of Kartik month in 2013 by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He continues to travel all over the world, including UAE, South Africa, Mauritius, Russia, North America, including Canada and the US, and the Philippines as the sannyas preaching the gospel of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan mission. Maharaj is currently serving as the zonal supervisor for the Philippines Yatra, assisting His Holiness Giridhar Swami Maharaj as the GBC for that area. He is mainly based in Vrindavan up to date. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Please, the floor is yours, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am greatly honored, and it is my privilege to be with you on this most auspicious day of the Eid before Jhanmastami, most auspicious appearance day of Lord Krishna tomorrow. And your deities, they're looking very, very wonderful, very gorgeous, very effulgent. Shri Radha, Krishna Kanhaiya, and your Shri Gornitai deities. Somehow or other, someone that I knew of invited me to speak on this evening, and even though we're kind of busy, it's very difficult to say no. It's an opportunity to speak on the glories of the Lord's appearance day, so I took advantage and took the opportunity to do it. Even though I haven't been to Malaysia, it's just a neighboring country from Philippines, not so far away. Actually, Philippines, the race also came from Malaya or Malaysia region. So we're not very far from culture, but I'm sure that there are more devotees practicing in Malaysia very sincerely, very, very seriously. And therefore, that's why your country become very, very prosperous, and the devotees are happy. So let me start by the invocation, Mangala Charanam. Om Jnanam Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshware Visabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kipasindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today is the eve before the Lord's appearance, and all over the world, everyone, especially the devotees of Lord Krishna, are very, very busy preparing for tomorrow's one of the biggest, if not it is the biggest festival celebration. For tomorrow is Lord's appearance day, Jhanmastami. And ISKCON temples all over the world, they're all buzzing to welcome the Supreme Lord. So 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna appeared along with his elder brother, Lord Balaram, and also Yogamaya, Subhadra, in Vrindavan. Specifically, Yogamaya appeared in Gokul from the womb of Mother Yasoda, and somehow Lord Balaram was transferred from the womb of Mother Devaki to the womb of Mother Yasoda by the Shakti of Yogamaya. And Lord Krishna also, according to the Acharyas, simultaneously he appeared both to Mother Yasoda and Mother Devaki. But what we've heard from the Krishna book Srila Prabhupada wrote, which is the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, whereby Srila Prabhupada taught he will not be able to finish the whole 12 cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam. His magnum opus, his main work is the Srimad Bhagavatam, and due to his old age, Srila Prabhupada was thinking, let me give the whole world Krishna book, which is the summary study of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam compared to the smiling face, lotus face of Lord Krishna. The Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to the body of Lord Krishna, first, second cantos, the lotus feet, and then as we go up, third cantos, the thighs, the legs, the abdomen, and then as we go up, then the smiling face of Lord Krishna, which is the sweetest part of the whole body of Lord Krishna, is the 10th canto. And in the second chapter of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the description of how Lord Krishna appeared from the mind or heart. They're synonymous. The mind and the heart is like what we have. The mind you cannot see. It's there. It's the repository where we can remember or forget things according to the Supreme Lord's will. And also our heart is says that the soul itself is the heart. When we say the heart of the soul, that means the soul, or the soul as a heart, whereby the Paramatma resides. Paramatma, because Paramatma is within and outside also of everything. He's present in everyone's heart, is Parasar Babhutanam, Hridese Arjunatistati. He resides in everyone's heart. So, in the heart and or the mind, specifically of Vasudev, Lord Krishna's father, who is not a conditioned soul like us, is an eternal associate of the Supreme Lord, manifest Lord Krishna. And he transferred Lord Krishna to the mind or heart of Mother Devaki in the jail house of King Kamsa. Because prior to this, the king, King Kamsa, he usurped the kingdom from his father. He's a little cruel, very, very cruel, crooked. And there was a voice from the sky saying that, you fool, this is the time during the wedding of Devaki and Vasudeva. And just after the wedding, Kamsa thought that, I may not have the chance to see again and have a good length of time spent with my sister, so let me drive their chariot. So along the way, there was this very mystical sound, voice, saying that, you fool, you do not know that the eighth child of your sister will be the cause of your death. So immediately, Kamsa stopped the chariot and he took the sword from the sheath and grabbed the hair of Devaki and ready to cut her head. But somehow or other, Vasudeva, knowingly that also Kamsa will be not so popular if he did this, so through diplomacy, he was able to convince that all of his children will be given to Kamsa to be sure that he will not be killed. Just immediately after Devaki will take or give birth to a child, then the child will be delivered to Kamsa. So Kamsa agreed, yes, okay, but to be sure that they will not be able to go far away and escape, then he put them into prison in his jailhouse, prison house. So they were there, and this thing happened that the conception of Lord Krishna, prior to that, Lord Balaram also appeared in the womb of Devaki. The first 6 children, they were killed because, again, it was actually Narad Muni who came that, well, you don't know who are these children, so they may be also the cause of your death. So you better take care of them also. You know what to do. So out of cruelty, Kamsa, he killed all those children one by one by one. And then Lord Balaram came, and the 7th child, but then he was transferred to the womb of Mother Rohini. It says Rohini because Rohini became the mother of Balaram. And then Yasoda's child, Mahamaya, or she has many names, Yoga Maya also, Mahamaya, Durga, Kali, Bhadra. Then she transferred herself into the womb of Mother Devaki, and Kamsa thought that this is the seventh child, and he was also ready to kill her. But then she slipped from the hands of Kamsa, and she was able to get away. So now the eighth child of Devaki and Vasudev, the conception is not just, it's not like ordinary conception between a normal husband and wife. Generally speaking, there is a copulation between husband and wife, and if the wife is fertile due to the discharge of semen from the husband, then the child will take form or shape in the womb of the mother. But no, the way the Supreme Lord was conceived is that from the mind of Vasudeva, Krishna appeared. And it says that because with that, Vasudeva carrying, also having the Supreme Lord within his mind, then Vasudeva became so effulgent, so bright. And then when he transferred this conception, through the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki, then similarly, Devaki became so effulgent. But due to fear of Kamsa, it says it's just like fire being covered by smoke. You're not be able to see the effulgence. But later on, she was not able to hide that effulgence, because at the same time she was happy that she knew that she is carrying Lord Krishna within her. And so all the demigods actually were watching. They knew what's going on. And even in the prison house of Devaki and Vasudeva, the first person who came was Narad Muni. Narad Muni, he is the saint amongst the sages, Narad Rishi. So what happens that also Lord Brahma was there, Lord Shiva, all the major demigods along with their assistants, and also Gandharvas, the singers, they all start glorifying the Supreme Lord. The conception of the Supreme Lord from the heart or the mind of Vasudeva to the heart or mind of Devaki is considered as Diksha, initiation. Just like the seed of Bhakti, the Bhakti Lata Beach, is being planted by the spiritual master to the heart of an aspiring disciple who is ready to surrender and follow the instructions and serve with humility, without any self-motivation or vested interest to the spiritual master. And then the seed of bhakti has to be watered to nourish the seed of bhakti. This is verse Brahmanda kono bhagavan jeev kono Krishna pasare by bhakti lata beach. This by the mercy of we've been wandering since time immemorial into this Brahmanda, or not just this Brahmanda, but Brahmande, different universes. But by great fortune, we meet a spiritual master, because due to our also sincerity to search about the absolute personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord, that the Supreme Lord appears in the heart of the aspiring disciple through the spiritual master. by this beach, this seed of bhakti. And to nourish that seed of bhakti has to be water. It's like if there's a seed, how does it grow? It needs to be watered. And this watering process is the hearing and chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Now, while we water the seed of bhakti, we must be very careful because there may be some unwanted weeds that's growing around. And these unwanted weeds is compared to material desires, specifically wealth, women, adoration, or prestige, that these are like the enemies, or these are the ones who will hamper for the Bhaktilata beads to grow. So we may, on the process of bhakti, we may be thinking that, oh, so many benefits. I'm starting to have some opulence, some wealth, I have some followers, I'm having position. So if we're not careful, we may think that, oh, I think I should have more wealth. Let me continue bhakti, but I want more wealth. Or I want more position, but I will continue bhakti. So in the Madhurya Kadambini, it says that one must be very careful because these are impediments. One actually is not performing intentional bhakti. Intentional bhakti means only to please the Supreme Lord. Serve the Supreme Lord without any self-interest. But then the other bhakti that's being done, if you just wish to increase the benefits that one derives from doing bhakti, because naturally this is the tendency. Bhakti is like a kalpa bhiksha tree that fulfills all of your desires. And therefore, this is called unintentional bhakti. You're doing bhakti, but then your purpose getting diverted. So one must be very careful. But here, when Lord Krishna appeared in the mind of Vasudeva, and he transferred this to the mind of Devaki, Devaki became also mixed. There's a mixed emotions. She was fearful. She was fearful that, oh, all of my children were killed by Kamsa. So this aged child, I'm afraid he will be also not last long. But other prayers, because they can understand. They can understand that Lord Krishna is within the womb of Devaki, and because of her so much effulgence now is starting to emanate from her. She cannot contain anymore the happiness that she is feeling, that even the servants of Kamsa, they can tell, oh, Devaki is so effulgent. And then Kamsa also, when he saw Devaki, Devaki was so effulgent. So he can understand that actually, yes, the enemy is now within the womb of my sister. I have to do something about this, but I cannot do it. I cannot kill my sister while she is pregnant, while she is carrying the child within her womb. So practically 24 hours, Kamsa was thinking of Krishna. Whatever he does, while eating, while sleeping, wakeful state, in all of his activities, is always thinking of Krishna. He became Krishna conscious, but in an unfavorable way. This is not the meaning of bhakti, of being Krishna conscious. Krishnanu anusilanam. Anya bilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anabritam anukulyena krishnanum shilanam bhaktir uttama. This is a topmost bhakti when you think of Krishna, because this is the purpose of why we are doing what we are doing. We're hearing and chanting the holy name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord, so that ultimately we'll be able to think of Krishna 24 hours a day. Now, Lord Krishna, he fulfills everyone's desires. Of course, we have to also be qualified in order to receive or get our wish and desire. But then, for the devotees, their desires and their wish is just to increase their bhakti, to please the Supreme Lord and His devotees. This is, so the devotees, they are thinking of Krishna and they are happy. Now, Kamsa is the opposite. Kamsa is thinking of Krishna, but he is unhappy. Why? Because he's in fear. And sometimes he says that even while he was looking in the mirror, he's not able to see his head. His head was like missing. He can see the lower part of his body, but then the upper part, the head, is missing. As if the sign that he will not last long, because Krishna is there. So the demigods, they offer their prayers. I can read one of those prayers to you, the first prayers of the demigods, of the, yes. Says, the demigods prayed, O Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Krishna is the supreme. He is the maintainer. He's the director of everything. It's like Prabhupada, he quoted one of the verses in the purport from the Bhagavad Gita. Maya jakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Ito nanena konteya tad jagat vipari vartate. Krishna, everything is working under the direction of Lord Krishna. No one can dictate him what to do except his devotees. We were giving class this morning here in Vrindavan, and the topic is about the stealing of the calves and the cowherd boys by Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, by mystic power of Lord Krishna, he bewildered Lord Brahma, thinking that, oh, he's just a mere young boy. What can he do? I will steal the cowherd boys and the calves. Let me see what he can do. But he doesn't know that the source of his power is Lord Krishna. That same young boy, seemingly is like a village boy, very young, merely only 3 years old, between 3 and 4 years old. But his power and opulence is far greater than we can imagine. So it says there that we are not independent. We are dependent. We depend on Lord Krishna. Everything that's happening, we have to depend on Krishna. Whatever comes, whatever is the result of our activities, we just depend on Krishna, that Krishna will shower and bestow His mercy upon all of us. So Krishna, on the other hand, even though He is the only one who is independent, the sole independent personality in the entire creation, both material and spiritual worlds, but He is dependent on the prema. He is dependent on the love of His devotees, that seemingly He becomes subordinate. He became subjugated by the love of His devotees. That when Mother Yasoda, in that pastimes of binding of the rope, the waist of Kanhaiya Lal, or Lord Krishna, Damodar, the Damodar Lila. Who can bind Lord Krishna? Everything is within Him, so how can we bind Lord Krishna? How can we tie? We can tie or we can bind Krishna with our love. That means Krishna reciprocates according to the love of His devotees. Whatever the devotees desire, Krishna will fulfill. And this is the main reason why Lord Krishna came to the material world. Lord Krishna came to the material world to fulfill the desires of His pure devotees, to give them unlimited happiness by performing His pastimes, and ultimately to attract the conditioned souls by performing these pastimes, that Krishna, along with His eternal associates, will be able to attract the conditioned souls to go back home, back to Godhead. The mundane activities that we perform and aspiring to be happy in this material world makes us more and more frustrated. It doesn't satisfy the soul because we have nothing to do with the material energy. Just like oil and water, you cannot mix. We are like fish out of the water. We are in the land. So how can we be happy? We have to go back to our original habitat, which is the water. So we cannot really fulfill our desire to be happy, which is our nature. Anandamaya Vyasat, our nature is to be happy. And that can only be obtained when we reconnected, when our love towards the Supreme Lord becomes uncovered. Right now it's covered up. Our love is in the material energy, in illusion. We are in illusion because we identify with the body as the self. We identify that we are the mind. We identify with our body as the self, and we would like to enjoy the sense objects with our senses. But these senses, the mind, these are all temporary. As long as we have this material body, we will have these different gross material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. But we are not this. We are spirit souls. We don't say my soul. It's not, you don't own the soul. You are the soul. You can say my body, but then you cannot say my soul. No, you are the soul. And what is the function of the soul is to serve, to please the Supreme Lord, who is perfect in every sense. His body is composed of Anandamaya, full of bliss, eternity, and knowledge. So right now, the spirit souls also, conditioned souls like us, we have the same quality, but it became covered up by modes of material nature, mainly goodness, passion, and ignorance. So no one can stop the Supreme Lord. No one. He cannot be stopped by anyone, but He can be stopped or He can be directed. or even instructed by his devotees because of their love. It's like the cowherd boys. The cowherd boys, if they want some kind of fruits, like in Talavan, there this demon Dhenukasura who's guarding the tala fruit. They will tell Krishna and Balaram, oh, we've heard that there is some very nice fruits over there. Why don't you come with us, or why don't you go and get it for us? And he will do it. There's no fear for the cowherd boys. They knew that they will be protected by Lord Krishna. They will go to the most dangerous situation, just like Agasura prior to Brahma Vimohan Lila. The cowherd boys, they went to inside the mouth of Agasura, who is a big python. He disguised himself as a big python. That when he opened his mouth, the upper portion of his mouth is touching the sky. He says it's like his mouth, the opening of his mouth is like compared to a big mountain cave. And they don't care. They knew that this is a big serpent, and they knew that Krishna will kill this demon. But so let us play. Let us go inside and let us play and let's see what's inside of the mouth of this python. And Krishna, well, he thought, well, they may be in danger, so let me go inside. But then Krishna became bigger and bigger and bigger, and then he killed. Agasura became suffocated, and the top head of Agasura demon burst. And it says when Krishna came out, also they can see that there's some light coming from Agasura demon, merge into the body of Lord Krishna. Indeed, it says here, being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. So this is the secret of success here. We cannot, Krishna's mercy is always available for everyone. Krishna would like to have all of us to get out of this material world as soon as possible, to go back home, back to Godhead. He's more eager than us to go back home, back to Godhead than we do. He doesn't want the living entities to suffer a miserable condition in this material world. This is the nature of this world. Dukkhalayam asasabatam. It is temporary and is full of miseries. So how can we get out of this material world? How can we completely become free from the cycle of repeated birth and death and achieve the favor of the Supreme Lord of eternal bliss, life, eternal life, and full of knowledge? It is by becoming who?
Very hard to understand.
By being who we are, not to be pretentious, not to be a good pretender, not to have any self-vested interest for whatever we're doing. No, we should be the way who we are, just like Queen Kunti. Queen Kunti, she knew that Krishna is Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan. She knew. The Pandavas, they knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore they treat Krishna the way as they are. Be the way who you are. Don't imitate anyone. Don't try to copy somebody. Just open your heart and give your best to please Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. It says here, you cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the active principle, the real truth in all the ingredients of creation, and therefore you are known as Antaryami, the inner force. Antaryami means Paramatma. So Paramatma is Chaitya Guru as well, Antaryami. He directs the wanderings of the conditioned souls in different species of life, in human form of life, in animal form of life, in every 8,400,000 species of life that we take. Due to the activities of fruitive desires to enjoy the material energy, we want to lord it over the material energy and the desires that we have, and the thought that we have at the time of death, that will be fulfilled. That's why there are 8,400,000 species of life, then also there are as many desires there are to be fulfilled by anyone who wish to have that kind of desire. And Antaryami, or the Paramatma, knows. He is the witness. He is the observer. He is one of the three aspects of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Brahmeti, Parameti, Bhagavan iti Sabjate. Brahman, the light effulgence coming from the spiritual body of the Supreme Lord, from the spiritual world, from Parabhyom, spiritual sky, and it penetrates and reflects. The effulgence of the sun is coming from the Brahmajyoti. There's a reflection, the moon, yes. So how bright it is in this spiritual world. It says in this spiritual world you don't need any sunlight or moonlight. There is no need of electricity. Everything is self-effulgence. So this is one of the aspects of the Supreme Lord, Brahman effulgence. And then there is the Paramatma, who is the knower of the past, present, and future. We cannot hide anything from Paramatma, even if we turn off the lights and thinking that we can do whatever we wish to do, sinful activity or whatever. He can tell, he can know, he knows. And he's the one who's telling us, no, don't do it. Don't try to enjoy the material energy because you will suffer. But because we're given a minute independence, free will, and most times the conditioned souls misuse this minute independence or free will, and therefore Krishna as Paramatma says, fine, you want it, okay, you do it if you wish, and but you have to be responsible for that activity or activities that you perform, which is against the principles of Dharma, principles of religion. That is the Paramatma. And he is with the soul, wherever the soul goes, whatever species of life the soul takes, until we go back home, back to Godhead, then Paramatma will not be there anymore. Then we will see Krishna face to face, Bhagavan, feature of the Supreme Lord. A two-armed form. Of course, he has unlimited forms. Even in the material world, he came as avatars. That means one who descends from the spiritual world. In different forms, Krishna, in his form, the original form of the Supreme Lord, meaning he is all attractive, Swayam Bhagavan, Purna Bhagavan, Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Sometimes the devotees of the Supreme Lord are also called Bhagavan, like Lord Shiva or Narad Muni, because the activities that they perform resembles as that of Lord Krishna. They would like to also save the conditioned souls from sufferings in this material world and lead them to go back home, back to Godhead. So Bhagavan, this is the two-arm form, wearing a yellow silken cloth, and he is adorned with this Indranil money, the bluish color gem, and also Srivatsa on his right hand chest, a white streak hair, and with peacock feather on his head, and is always accompanied by his associates, eternal associates. Krishna is never alone. You will never see Krishna alone. At least you will see Krishna with a cow or Krishna playing with his flute. And that is also his eternal associate, the flute, a bamboo flute, where even the gopis, they're very, very envious of how the flute always been touching the lotus lips of Lord Krishna more than they do. What kind of pious activities that the bamboo, this bamboo that performed, that he attained to be a constant companion of the Supreme Lord. So this is Bhagavan. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone for all time. That means, yes, samuham sarva bhutesu, namidvishyo, siya priya. That means he is equal to everyone. No one is his enemy and no one is his friend. And it says that he is impartial. Equal means impartial. But at the same time, he also more inclined towards his devotees. When he killed demons, they got liberated. It's not that when he killed the demons, or those scrupulous personalities, when he came 5,000 years ago, that they went to hell. No, they attained different kinds of liberations. Sayudya, Sarupya, Samipya, Salokya, Sarsati. These are different liberations, having the same form of the Supreme Lord, having the same opulence of the Supreme Lord, having the same planet as the Supreme Lord, having the same form and opulences, and also merging into his body. Now that is to be considered as hellish. Narakayate. Because in that liberation there is no activities, and therefore there is no ananda. Only when you perform some activities that you want to keep doing or increasing that activities, you'll get some ananda or bliss. So he's equal to everyone. What to say of his pure devotees? Then they attain the loving relationship of the Supreme Lord, and Krishna wants always to please his devotee. This is one of his greatest quality, Bhakta Vatsala. He is very affectionate towards his devotees. That seemingly, yes, he favored his devotees, even though he's equal to everyone. So his instructions is applying for everyone for all time. It's like the Bhagavad Gita. Even though it is considered as the ABC, but at the same time, it's not so easy to apply because he demands complete surrender. Sarva dharmam parityajya, that is the main instruction of Lord Krishna, applicable for everyone, irregardless of one's nationality, creed, color, or religion, or age. No, it's for everyone. Krishna is demanding our surrender, not for his own benefit, but for our own benefit. Because if we surrender, we're the one who gets benefited. It's like if we bow down to the deities, Krishna gets benefited? No, we get the benefit. We get spiritual strength. If you offer obeisances to Guru, the Guru gets benefit? No, you get the benefit. You become more humble. And being humble means a prerequisite in order to understand this knowledge and also to realize one's eternal position. Yes, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it so easy. In Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya, none different than Lord Krishna, but much more because Lord Chaitanya is the combined forms of Radha and Krishna. Si Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. So if we just follow the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that if you constantly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without any offenses and avoid offending Vaishnavas, then you'll go back home, back to Godhead. Of course, to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra needs some faith and also surrendering. But it is easy. It is easy to do because this is the Yuga Dharma. This is in the age of Kali. This is the process by which one can go back to the spiritual world and become free from the cycle of repeated birth and death. You are the beginning of all truth. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. So the demigods, they're godly. They're in the modes of goodness more than anyone else in the material world. Middle planetary systems, lower planetary systems, and the upper planetary systems. But in the upper planetary systems, where the demigods reside, the facilities for pleasure, sense enjoyment is far greater than anywhere else, and one can be diverted also from the goal, which is to go back home, back to Godhead. So one must be very careful. So the demigods, they also pray that somehow they will not be diverted. When there is a lot of sense enjoyment, then one can be attracted to it. And the greatest enemy in the material world of the spirit soul who is on the path of spiritual progress is women, wealth, and prestige. So we have to be very, very careful in this way. Lord's pastimes is unlimited. It says that it's like waves in the ocean also. And this pastime of the Supreme Lord taking birth in the material world is called Naimitika Lila. This is occasional pastimes because like the killing of the demons, these are all occasional pastimes. And Naimitika Lila, the lifting of Govardhan Hill, this is also Naimitika Lila. In the spiritual world, Lord Krishna doesn't have to lift Govardhan Hill and have King Indra be angry. And this is only in the material world, but some of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world, they're also present here in the material world, this Nitya Lila, just like the Rasa dance, and so on. There is a rasa dance in the spiritual world also. So the whole purpose of the Lord's appearance is actually to exemplify his coming just like a normal person, but then his activities are divine. His appearance is divine and his activities are divine. And for those who understand this, then Janma karma chami devyam evim yobiti tatvata chakba deham punar janma na itimam eti sa Arjuna. Anyone who understands my appearance, my janma and my karma activities to be divine, divyam, then one does not have to come back again into the material world. Chakba deham punar janma. That means when one leaves his body or her body, and he will go back to the spiritual world. And he does not have to come back again into this miserable, conditioned life in the material world. So somehow, Srila Prabhupada gave us our fortune that we have come in contact in Krishna consciousness. This Jhanmastami, we should rededicate our life in the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Try to help others, the suffering conditioned souls, towards the spiritual world. And on Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, we should also rededicate our life to follow his instructions, to be good devotees, to abide by the instructions of our Guru Maharaj and help him also in the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this way, hope against hope, whatever we are lacking at the time of death, Krishna will provide, and whatever we have, it'll be preserved. That somehow we should pray that this will be our last life, and we go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here now. How come there is some music going on somewhere? Hare Krishna, is anyone there listening to what I'm saying?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. There's 77 of us here, Maharaj.
I know, but what is that music?
I think someone unmuted themselves, Maharaj, and somehow.
Is there a kirtan going on at the temple?
Oh yes, we are still having kirtan at the temple, Maharaj. Yes.
Okay. I will stop here now.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. I would like to open the session for any questions. If there's any questions from the members, please take this opportunity and ask any questions for Maharaj. Maharaj, Hare Krishna, there's one question, Maharaj. Maharaj, the question is there any significance why Krishna appeared in the prison house, Maharaj?
The whole world is a prison house. Whether inside the prison house or outside of the prison house of King Kamsa. Well, this is part of the Lord's pastimes. The Supreme Lord can appear anywhere and everywhere, but somehow to fulfill the desires also of Devaki and Vasudeva to have Krishna as their son. Ultimately, the eternal mother and father of Lord Krishna is Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj. It only looks that they became the foster parents. But actually, Krishna also took birth at the same time with from the womb of Mother Yasoda, and because she did not recognize, because it was nighttime, it was midnight when the Lord appeared, that the two Krishnas became one when Vasudeva crossed the river Yamuna, and he actually is not also seeing the other Krishna covered by Yogamaya. So when Vasudeva put the other Krishna near the bedside, near Mother Yasoda, then these two Krishna became one. So, yes, significance means This is the story how it goes. The atrocities, doesn't matter how powerful Kamsa is, he's not able to control. And he's not able to do anything about Krishna's appearance. This is beyond him. It just so happened that the king was cruel, is very unreasonable, and just to be sure that all the children born from Devaki will be delivered, so he put them into prison. They may be in the prison, but actually they're not. That's why when Krishna took birth, he appeared as a four-armed form, and then out of fear that Kamsa will kill him, then they prayed, and also to mitigate the fear and astonishment of his parents, then Krishna became a small baby. By becoming a small baby, and then everyone was fast asleep, and mysteriously the gate of the where they are, the prison house, is wide open. You don't need a chabi. You don't need a key to open it. So, yes. Anything else?
Thank you, Maharaj. Any other questions, please?
There's a Chaitanya Haridas. His hand is up.
Yes, Chaitanya Hari Prabhu, can you please?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Bhagavad Prabhupada. Just now you were explaining how the Gopalas fully depending on Krishna, and they deliberately going into the Agasura's mouth, and also going to Talavan to take the fruits.
Right.
So sometimes we are put in a situation like now is COVID-19. So I don't think so we can go into that kind of situation. And sometimes some devotee take it very easily, and either way they have become paranoid not to come for service, or they are doesn't bother. They say I will just go and do service, whether it's this COVID. So what is actually the situation we should be?
We should take precaution. An ounce of precaution is better than a pound of cure. Of course, the devotees will always be protected by the Supreme Lord. Externally, if some of them, even though they are very careful and somehow they wish to continue their service towards the Supreme Lord and they get affected, externally they may get also infected and some of them may die. But this is material. The devotees, they never die. The materialists, they change their body and they continue sufferings and miseries in this world. The devotees, externally, they may live their body because due to old age or to disease, but they don't die. How? Because they continue on with their service next life. Bhakti never goes in vain. Whatever activities we perform for the pleasure of Hari, Guru and Vaisnavas never goes in vain. It's eternally credited into your spiritual bank account. It just continues on. You left your body with 12% in your bhakti account. The next life you start with 13%. We should be careful. At the same time, we should be bold for Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was so sick, but he wanted to finish half of the program and the mission that he wished to accomplish, the Varnashram Dharma. So he wanted to go to America. to establish Varnashram Dharma. But somehow he was not able to do it. He came back after London, knowingly that it will be very risky for him. Similarly, we should be like this. We should take all the risk, but at the same time be careful. We should not be foolish. We should not be like the cowherd boys. Cowherd boys, they're in a different level. They're in the transcendental platform. Huh? Be very careful. Wear mask if you must. It's like in Vrindavan. In Delhi, when I was in Delhi, when I came from America, well, we have to wear masks. I have to wear a mask. Even if they don't wear masks, I wear mask all the time. We were all in lockdown, so I was still wearing masks, even though it's the same devotees. No one is coming in, no one is coming out. But when I came to Vrindavan, it's a little different. In the beginning, I was wearing masks. But then no one is wearing masks, so why should I wear masks? But some devotees, even right now, they wear masks. But now, I don't wear masks. So maybe when we hear that, okay, some infection is there again, so we have to wear masks. I have to wear masks. So be practical. If you must to wear a mask, if your health is not that good, then you be extra careful. Don't be like in open space where there's so many crowds and then you don't wear mask. No, wear a mask. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much, Maharaj, for clearing because some devotee having some doubts.
No, actually, doing service for the Supreme Lord, and if you take all the risk, Krishna will protect you. And externally, if something happens to you, this is Krishna's plan. We have whatever happens to us, but we have to be careful and not careless. It'll be good for us. Whatever Krishna decides for his devotees, it is for the betterment of the devotee. But we should not be foolish. If we know that there's a fire, you go inside the fire, you'll be burnt. You have to protect yourself. Don't be foolish. Okay.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, one last question here. In Malaysia, most of the temples are closed for Jhanmastami. So many devotees are unable to go to the temple and serve in the temple. So in this lockdown Jhanmastami, Maharaj, what is the mood that we should approach this festival?
The mood? You chant more. We're supposed to fast till midnight. Don't sleep all day because you're fasting. Read. And you can also decorate your home like it is a Jhanmastami. Krishna is the center of the Grihasta's life. So it is advised that the Grihasta should also have deities at home so that their life will be regulated. Offer all your foodstuffs to Krishna, all your activities for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the proprietor. You are just caretakers of your residences. Okay? You must have like maybe a Ladu Gopal or a small Jagannath Baladev Subhadra or a Gornitai. So make some preparations. Ekadasi preparations for the pleasure of the Lord, and do more bhakti. You can do bhajans, you can have your family read a Krishna book, you can alternate, and so on. So the mood should be also not just because you're not able to come to the temple, that you're not able to celebrate Jhanmastami. You can be under a tree and you can observe Jhanmastami. Is that correct?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Very clear, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Who is
Hare
you?
Krishna.
Where are you? I cannot see you.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. I'm talking with someone that I don't see.
Okay,
Is that
they
Srinivas Krishna?
yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Bolo.
Maharaj,
Mm-hmm.
the sun and the moon represents Krishna's eyes.
Right.
Yes, why this moon is on the Lord Shiva's head, Maharaj?
Why is it there?
Yeah.
Well, it is a crescent moon. Krishna, Lord Shiva has Ganga. Also, Lord Shiva has this snake around him. Lord Shiva has different skeleton skulls. Actual story, I'm not so sure, but these are all auspicious. Even the skulls. Why you did not ask me that why there is a skulls around Lord Shiva?
I know the answer, Maharaj.
So you can do your research, okay?
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
I don't know exactly. I know Ganga because he tried to save the entire planet from being devastated when Ganga is coming from
Yeah.
up in the heavenly planets. It's a crescent moon. It's not really a full moon. It's like crescent. It goes like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I can do it for you if you like. You send me your email address and I will do some research for you. Why is this?
Yeah,
That
sure,
snake
Maharaj.
is Ananta Seish,
Yeah.
the snake around the neck. So these are all auspicious signs because Lord Shiva, also at the same time, he has his own tattva. He is not Krishna, but at the same time, simultaneously, he is also like Krishna.
Yes.
And in that prayer of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva is compared to dahi or yogurt. Krishna is milk and then transformed into yogurt. Yogurt is made from milk, but yogurt you cannot put back to become milk again.
Yes, Maharaj.
And yogurt is favorite of Lord Krishna.
Mm.
Krishna is always liking yogurt and butter. More than milk. Of course, he drinks Mother Yasoda's milk, but you can find Krishna always have butter and yogurt. In any case, yes, I can search it for you.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes.
Usually we talk about Lord Shiva only on Shiva Ratri, or if we're in the part of the Bhagavatam where the song sung by the Prachetas, song sung by Lord Shiva, the Prachetas, or in different pastimes, or Prajapati Daksha being cursed by Lord Shiva, right? So, yes, it's
Maharaj,
auspicious. Yes,
can I go to another question, Maharaj?
okay?
Maharaj, this pastime of Lord Krishna in the Golaka Vrindavan here and Golaka Vrindavan in the spiritual world is both the same pastime or different pastime, Maharaj?
No, different. Because there are no demigods there in the spiritual world, and there are no demons in the spiritual world. The Nitya Lila in the spiritual world continues on without killing any demons, without lifting Govardhan Hill, without Brahma try to bewilder Krishna by stealing the calves and the cowherd boys. There is no birth of Lord Krishna in the spiritual world. He's eternally like a 16-year-old boy. Radharani is like an eternally 14-year-old girl. They never grow up. Here in the material world, he grew up. He has three parts. Balya, Pauganda, and Kisor Lila. Childhood, boyhood, and youthhood. In the spiritual world, Krishna is eternally youth.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So some of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world happened here in the material world, but not all of the pastimes that happens here in the material world happens in Goloka Vrindavan.
Not the same, Maharaj.
Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Clear.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you. Is there any other questions for Maharaj? Okay, so if there's no questions for Maharaj, I've got just a few announcements to make. So tomorrow we will be celebrating Krishna Jhanmastami online in the temple of Sri Sri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya. So the festival tomorrow, we will start our Gora Aarti at 6:30 p.m. At 7 p.m. we will do the Abhishek of Sri Sri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Utsava deities. And 8:30 p.m. there will be a spiritual discourse on Lord Krishna's appearance by His Holiness Bhakti Mukunda Swami Maharaj. At 9:30 there will be Gurukul performance and bhajans. At 10 there will be a musical Mahabharat show. At 11 p.m. we'll have bhajans. And at 12 a.m. midnight, at the appearance of Lord Krishna, we will have a Maha Aarti, and we encourage devotees to offer ghee lamp to Krishna right after the Aarti. So that is Krishna Janmastami tomorrow. And on 31st of August, the most blessed event of the appearance day of Srila Prabhupada, we will have the program at 9 a.m. Malaysian time, and the lecture will be given by His Holiness Bhakti Vikna Vinasha Narasimha Maharaj. And at 10 o'clock, we will have the Abhishek ceremony for Srila Prabhupada. At 11:30, we will have homages from devotees. And at 12:30, we will have offering for Srila Prabhupada. And at 12:45, we will do Maha Aarti for the deities and for Srila Prabhupada. So we will humbly request all devotees to come and join this event virtually. So finally, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for blessing and gracing our event. We hope that you are satisfied giving class, and we were very satisfied having your association, Maharaj. And we hope that we will be also inviting you in the near future to give us more nectarian pastimes. So thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandava Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna 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 Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you so much, dear participants, for joining this session. So we hope that you will come and join us tomorrow as well. Hare Krishna.